Big win, Don Wilson here with the Rec MMA welterweight champion Nathan Gunn. How does that sound?
Oh, it sounds great, man. After a tough fight like that, it's just all the more sweeter to have this with me right now.
Well, no, give us your thoughts, because that was a brutal 5-round war. It was going back and forth. I got to say, you and me were probably the only two people that knew that knew Bill Khatib was going to stand in that ring with you for 5 rounds and give it to you. It was really, really back and forth. But how do you feel after that fight? Do you feel like you won?
Oh, I feel like other than he got me down a couple times there and kind of laid on me, but he didn't really do any damage. He kind of laid there. I was actually a few times waiting for Eves to stand it up because he was, along the wall there. I had him in the tight clinch along the wall, and I was kneeing the legs. I was throwing some short uppercuts and that, and Eves was breaking that up. So I was under the impression that it was going to, keep getting broke up anytime there's any stalemates at all. So on the ground there, I just kind of was holding on and just waiting for the stand-up because I was taking it to him on his feet. So I was like, fine, stand us back up and I'll keep throwing bombs till 3rd round. And then the left hand let go on me, so then I had to start throwing the right hand a lot more. And then he started to catch on to that. So every time I'd throw the right, I'd get caught with one of his hooks. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to improvise. So I started throwing like little left slaps just to get his hands up. But he's a tough dude.
Yeah, I got to say, I don't know if anyone's going to give Khatib credit, but damn, that was a tough showing. My question to you is, I know Nathan Gunn is a dynamite striker who has a ground game that he doesn't show off. You were showing off a lot of wrestling down there, and even a superior ground game.
I wouldn't say superior. Like I say, I knew it was a 5-rounder. Yep. So unless I was getting into any trouble on the ground, I was happy staying there. Just saving my energy to get back to the feet and then unload again on him. I didn't feel like I was threatened with anything on the ground. He went for a Kimura once or twice, and I just waited it out. Actually, I think it was the 3rd round he had one, and then I ended up on 3rd or 4th, and I ended up in top position from it. Because I'm a pretty strong guy, so I just waited it out until I could swing around on top of him. Like I say, all the credit to him. He's a tough guy. I hit him with everything in the kitchen sink. In the 4th round, I think it was, I landed 3 consecutive knees in a row to him, and I kind of stood back, and I was like, man, he's still standing. And by that time, my left hand was shattered, so I couldn't even throw a left uppercut anymore. So I tried to knee again, and it was a great war. I just hope the crowd liked it, man.
Oh, I got to say that'll definitely be one of my votes for fight of the year, because it was just a back and forth war. My big question: do you know if you were hurting him with all those shots, or because every time you hit him, he was going back? But I'm wondering if he was playing rope-a-dope half the time, because it didn't seem to phase him sometimes. It was really weird.
I saw his eyes flicker a few times, and the way I can tell that he was hurt was he wasn't throwing punches back. If he wasn't hurt and he was playing rope-a-dope, he would have been throwing punches back, not just leaning on the cage waiting for me to throw knees at him. So I knew I was hurting him. Like I say, he took everything I threw at him, whether he took it half unconscious or not. He took it, and then, like I say, in the 4th, when I did have him hurt, unfortunately I couldn't throw that left uppercut to come up on him, so I started trying to throw knees a lot more, and unfortunately once it led to a takedown, actually, like where I threw the knee and he ended up scooping the leg. But other than that, like I said, it was a good all-around fight, and I had no question that I won the fight, but I just hope everyone enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I bet you everyone enjoyed it. Official scorecards from Top MMA News was 3-2 for Nathan Gunn, so we had it for you there. Talk about throwing knees. You had 2 big jumping flying knees that you're throwing in there. When do you add those into the arsenal?
That's something that actually my coach Matt Riche has just been throwing in there. And it was, you probably won't ever see him again, but against Nabil, there's one thing we noticed in him is that he likes, like you're saying, going back, and he kind of goes back against the fence and kind of leans over to one side. So it was just something we threw in there, and I probably would have caught him clean with them, but I still am kind of hesitant on them. But my coach, every round, he was in there, and he's like, the knee, because no word of a lie, that was my conditioning cap.
Yeah.
The last minute of every round in training was just 1, 2, 3 flying knee, 1, 2, 3 flying knee, over and over again for the last minute of every round in training, just to drill it into my head, and it sucks the hell out of you, man.
Oh, I bet it does. I'd say in the 4th round, you guys were just going hard. Like you guys both looked a little tired, and you still had it in you to throw one of those great flying knees.
I got the wife at home and my daughter and the baby on the way. There was nothing that was going to stop me from. I would have went until I had nothing left in me there, man. It was just going to be a war to the end.
Speaking of the wife and kid on the way, as of right now, still where it needs to be before you get back to Thunder?
Just before you got here, I got the call from the wife because to let me know that still inside and that, but we had an agreement that she wasn't going to call and let me know anyways until after the fight.
Fair enough.
Just because she knew that if I knew ahead of time, it would take my head right away from the fight. So she was a great gal for that. Just even for letting me take the fight still, after all the stuff and the change of dates and that. Love you, honey.
But at least you got some nice hardware here to bring home.
As she said, we have something to hold the diapers up with now.
Do you ever? Now, I got one more question before I finish it off. Everyone saw Nabil Khatib at the weigh-ins, gaunt. It barely looked like he was even conscious there. Were you surprised at how strong he was in the fight after what you had seen less than 24 hours earlier?
Not surprised at all. No, I've seen Nabil fight. Like I said, with the exception that this was 5 rounds and unfortunately, like I said, I buggered my left hand up, but come the 4th and 5th round, he was hitting me, but there wasn't much behind him. I was starting to get kind of actually lazy with my right hand and letting him land, like not letting him, but just the left hook was landing on me and stuff, and it wasn't to the point where it was scaring me. So I was just standing in there and firing back at him, like I was getting ready just to have the old style of Western gunslinging battle. And but as far as him coming back, no, he's got heart of a lion too. He's one of those guys that he's not going to quit unless you hit him with a freaking brick house and knock him out. But he's like I said, I was happy and surprised that he made 170, because if he didn't make 170, I was going to be a very bitter man taking the chance of missing the birth of my kid to come here for a non-title fight.
For a non-title fight, exactly. Now I gotta say, this is the Nathan Gunn that I know. I've seen you at a lot of shows, laid back, nice guy. When you were in that ring at the start of before the match even started, you did not take your eyes off Nabil since he entered the cage. Was there some hate there fueling that, or is that just what happens to Nathan Gunn when he gets in the cage?
I don't have hate for anybody. I just have a look that this guy's trying to take something from me, and this fight even more particular. I was coming down here and risking losing something big in my life, and I wasn't going to let anybody stop me. He was going to have to Pete Spratt me to take this belt from me.
I guess bringing up Pete Spratt, you took a lot of shots here. You didn't go down. Are we officially throwing out the old KO thing? You've gotten over that fully 100%.
Oh, yeah. After I took the first punch in the Hawks fight, I knew I was over it. I never really have any question about it. Like I said, I'm not going to bull crap you. Spratt hits like a freaking truck.
Everyone knows that.
He's one of the hardest hitters and kickers that you could run into, and I don't care who you are. If he catches you with an uppercut like that one, he's going to put you down. It took a while for my coach to drill that into my head that it wasn't, it's not just you. It's if he hits anybody with that, they're going down. So.
A little known fact about Pete Spratt we'll throw out there is Pete Spratt actually did turn down a shot at Matt Hughes and was then kicked out of the UFC. The reason why you saw Pete Spratt on a lot of the local shows after his first stint in the UFC. Now, before we let you go, other than the wife and the kids, are there any family, friends, sponsors that you want to give a shout out to?
Lots. First, like I say, Rec MMA, Nick, Pat Cooley, all of them. Great show. They treat us great. Razorware clothing and fight gear. They great to work with again. Got just hooked up on board with them. Tap Out Energy. They're gonna be funding my after party back home with a lot of vodka and Tap Out Energy drinks. That stuff's some good stuff. Topplacestowwork.com. Raj, they treat us really good. They sponsor all of our fighters every time we fight. Just local guy in town. FadedSoul.com. It's top of the line clothing that go online, check them out. Unbelievable stuff. Naturally Fit Thunder Bay, they give me all my supplements and everything else, which can be a pricey pricey hobby. CrossFit Sub-Zero, Bobby and Andrew Kwasny. One of the reasons I could go 5 rounds is all the circuits and that they put me through there when I'm not training at the gym at Leading Edge. And the wife and that for sure. And of course, my coach Matt Riche and all the guys at Leading Edge Gym, Matt Veal for coming down, making the trip with me. All those guys. It's like a little family there. My wife always complains about you spend more time with the guys at the gym than you do at home. So now that I got this on my shoulder, I'm gonna have to go and take probably a couple months off and just spend some time at home with the daughter and that, because she's missing me.
Well, definitely, you definitely got to go spend time with her. Now, one last thing I got to say, I have yet to see a better pre-fight banner than the Nathan Gunn Gunner. I got to say, folks, if you haven't caught the fights, go on YouTube. I hate saying that. Go see them for free. They were free anyway today. So just to go see this amazing fight and the pre-fight banner, best I've seen in a while, I gotta say. Just loved it. Anyway, fans, big win, Don Wilson. Rec MMA champion Nathan Gunn. Top MMA News.
Thanks a lot, guys.